Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello there. I just watched a movie called Gurram, something like that. Um, Apparently it's a very popular movie. Apparently it's a very good movie. My mistake was I was told that it wasn't a comedy going in, so I went into it expecting something completely different. So every time something happened that was supposed to be comedy oriented, I thought of it as, like the Fast and Furious type of situation, or something that's so overly blown that it's just like, what was the cinematographer thinking? What was the director thinking? This is obviously not a good way of doing things. So I went in thinking of something completely different, and it made me dislike the entire movie altogether. Not to say that it wasn't a good movie. It might actually be a good movie if you go in knowing it's a comedy. I went in with that mindset, and it was just like I couldn't find any humor in it because I was trying to take everything seriously. Because occasionally in Indian movies they'll do something that's obviously unrealistic, like in KGF, where he'll hit somebody and they go flying, like, just flying, just for over exaggeration, but it's cool in the shot. And it was just like, okay, if they're gonna do things like that, that's fine. But it was so overly blown. If no one would have told me it was anything, like nobody would have said anything, I probably would have been like, okay, this is actually a funny movie. I would have picked up on because, well, it's too over the top. It's too over the top to be a serious movie. But I was trusting what I was told, so I was like, okay, that's stupid. That's stupid. That's stupid the entire time. And by the time I finally realized, like, okay, this is supposed to be a comedy, I had already lost interest. And I was already an hour, almost 2 hours into the movie because they started having people teleport around the place. And I was like, yeah, you're having people teleport around the place. It's obviously a comedy. So I guess the story is two brothers don't get along. One is perfectly good in school. The other one's good in like street, like knows the streets, knows things like that. So one becomes a cop, one becomes a lowlife or a jobless person. Um, and then apparently there's a politician as well who's involved. The cop brother wants to get rid of the politician because the politician is corrupt. The bad brother wants to get his good brother fired, so he steals his brother's cop car, and apparently the politician wants to kill the cop and ends up getting the jobless brother by mistake. But of course, the jobless brother doesn't die. He's just Lucky. He goes by the name Lucky. And it's just like, there's just all this stuff that it's just like, thinking about it, of course it's a comedy. Why did I ever let someone say it wasn't? Because it's just like, it ruined the whole experience for me. Because it's obviously a comedy, everything they do. And it was just like, for me, it was just like, that's not, why are they doing a triple X thing here? That makes no sense. Why are they doing a Fast and Furious thing here? Well, that makes no sense. Why are they doing that Kung Fu Hustle thing here? That makes no sense. So just like, when you actually know what the story is, it makes sense, and it's actually would have been enjoyable. But for me, the movie was just like, it felt like a waste of time for me, because the only scene I actually did enjoy was where the jobless guy and the girl he fell in love with, because of course there's always a love story, they would always like slap the same guy over and over again. It was just like, okay, that's a funny little thing, because the jobless brother did it, and then because it's one of his friends, and then his girlfriend started to do it too. Anytime she needed to get out some aggression, or he would say something she didn't like, it would be just like, shut up. So they're just like, okay, that's kind of funny. They're both exactly the same. That works. That works. But that was like the only thing out of the entire 3.5 hour movie that was, yeah, that I could actually smiled at. But everything else, I was just like, that's not accurate. That doesn't work. Because it's a comedy. Just go in, if you're gonna want to watch the movie, go in knowing it's a comedy, or just don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Because if you're like me, your mind shuts off everything else, and you just watch it for that. If you just watch it for, yeah, I was trying to see what I was told was supposed to be there. So I was like getting upset and mad at like the directors, the cinematographers, and just like, what? Why are you doing this? Only then it's just like, oh, okay, I was lied to. It was just like, yeah, I was just lied to, which ruined my whole experience for me. But it's 3 hours, 3.5 hour movie, which I'll never want to watch again, just because the experience was so bad. Uh, but other than that, it's probably a good movie, probably worth a shot. For me, it was just a bad experience, and yeah, it's just negative feels there all around. It's kind of sad though. I'm pretty sure I would have enjoyed it otherwise. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Toodles.